Hi guys, I'm Lucas, a 23-year-old competitive boulder based out of Grafton, Wisconsin, and my videos are going to be based on my competitive journey towards the North American Cup. So today, my first started training for was on January 26th, as you see. I have been getting private lessons from my coach, and I've been working and progressing towards being a better climber, obviously, but training, as I said, for the North American Cup Series. I am going to be training more and more as I get into it, but this video kind of shows how my training's been going and honestly just the start of how I'm going to be doing as a possible professional boulder in the future as I hope to do that. So if you see, most of this video will be me climbing, and I'll also have some of my friends climbing as well. So when I am climbing, I'm doing the best of my capability and obviously working on a lot of my flaws and weaknesses, as many climbers do. I know I'm not as shined as many climbers, and I'm a relatively young climber compared to, say, Zach Richardson, Magnus, and stuff like that. I've been climbing all my life. I've wrestled most of my life. As you've seen in my earlier videos of me posting YouTube, it was just my wrestling matches, but translating from wrestling to now climbing, it is a big difference. Obviously, it is a one-on-one sport with me versus the wall, and wrestling was me versus someone else. And I've been just trying to translate as much wrestling and my abilities to the wall as I compete. So I've been competing a lot in like local comps recently. I've done 7 in the last 4 to 5 months. And actually, this day I was competing the day beforehand, and I was just doing things post the competition to just see where I was, because obviously after a tough day of competition, or maybe you're not having a good day, and not saying that I didn't do well to comp, but I obviously didn't get the results that I wanted. And as you guys see in the last video, I just wanted to see how far I could push myself. And obviously, rest is important, but today I felt good and I did a lot of projects. And as you've seen with some of these climbs, I don't get them. And some of the climbs that I don't get are on the harder scale of things. Like the last one with the blue rainbow rocket is what my coach called it. It is a V9 plus, and so as well as a super long black slab. And I specialize in slabs. So I am a self-proclaimed boulder specialist, but my priority in climbing that I'm really good at is slab. I'm not very good at cave, so I've been working that. But when I do get the chance to work on really hard slab problems, I try to get those because the more I push myself in slab, the more I don't have to worry about that in a competition like in the North American Cup Boulder Series. So I'm trying to just figure out my body. As I said, wrestling is a big transition, but I am a very flexible wrestler. In some of my videos in the future, or if you watch my TikTok, I tend to do the splits more than I need to. I get into some weird, funky situations. And as a wrestler, I get into situations that many people don't think about. And maybe it's a bad thing, and sometimes it should be a good thing because I'm thinking, my brain is working. So I'm thankful for that. But moving forward, so this is one of my climbing teammates that is training with me for the North American Cup. His name is Ryden. He's a very good climber, and he's been training lead. I believe he's going to be doing both lead and boulder. He is a very good climber. He's a coach at Adventure Rock as well. And this is one of the finalist routes from Quick on the Draw. And as you've seen in my last video, I had Coach Theo doing it, and now Ryden's going back and doing some hard parts and trying to top out. He eventually did top it out, but in this video, I'm just showing him and how he's doing and progressing. So when I'm training, I do some lead, but I am, like I said, a boulder specialist primarily. I don't really like ropes. It doesn't really feel like it benefits me sometimes. I'm still going to train it for endurance and other things like that, but I only see myself really bouldering as that is a sport that I rather would do in the sport of climbing. But as you see, there's other videos that I've posted with ropes on TikTok, and also the first video that I posted with me dry tooling. I am doing ropes, as dry tooling is mainly ropes. But as you see, like there's a lot of different things you need to do to be a good climber, and obviously we're all different. Like Ryden grew up as a competitive climber, Theo grew up as a sports sports guy. He mainly was focused in soccer, and me, I was mainly wrestling, did some football, baseball, and I was all around, and it's just crazy to see how many different people can climb in different ways, even though they may come from the same sports background, like soccer or say wrestling or football, stuff like that. It's just such a different variety that you don't see. And it kind of shows when I show my friends climbing. And you'll see in a later video with one of my friends that's in the thumbnail, Jacob Power. He's a total different climber than I am. And he had different sports. And I am thankful for that because it's great to learn from different people. But getting back into the climbing, I do mess up a lot. I fall a lot. I'm not afraid to fall, and that's one of my strengths I believe in. And double taking is my tip of the day. Is like if you like, especially in a dynamic climb, because I'm pretty explosive from wrestling. I just always know if I can get the first move and I maybe like whiff on it, I'm getting back on that real quick. And I know people might frown upon that, but some people are like, "Oh, he was close. Let him do it again. Like he gets it." And also, I do pay attention if someone else wants to jump on it if it's like super busy, like today. But no one was really doing this climb, so I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna hop back on it." And in this climb, I was kind of sad, but I wasn't too much because I was pumped doing it, and I was really preparing for this as this is an electric style of slab, and it is because it goes dynamic into then static, and then another dynamic move. And I love this slab so much, and this is a hard boulder for the open category on Quick on the Draw, and I didn't get it. I didn't get it for so many tries, and I'll get into it a little bit more, but this slab just gave me so much joy doing it. Granted, I did get frustrated in this day and the next, but I was just so thankful that it was made because it just gave me a new style of climbing. And also, it's a new movement that I've never done, kind of that step through dynamic press with your feet into the kind of paddle movement is definitely tricky. And the progress that I made over 2 days is totally different than anything. And you'll see this in the next video. That's all I did. I did probably 150 temps. And this is like my first ground burn. It was kind of busy. There was a birthday party and stuff. So you'll probably see me getting distracted. And honestly, I think that's what threw me off for most of my session because there was a lot of distractions. But there was people kind enough to be like, hey, to the kids, like, step away, like he's in a fall zone that might not be safe for you to be playing on. So you'll definitely see me in this part of the video being like, oh, can you please move them so I don't land on your kids, which is crazy. But I really did enjoy this climb. Like I said, it really gave me joy, especially when I got it. I did get frustrated at times, but that's if you're not getting frustrated just a little bit, I don't feel like you're pushing yourself in climbing. And that's what my coach has been kind of preaching to me, and you're not always going to be satisfied, and you never should be. You should always kind of be hungry. And that's kind of what I've had in wrestling. So going at it, this is the send that I get. I wasn't really ready for it. I told myself this was my last go, and I was really for sure. Like I was here for maybe 4 hours just projecting it, and just trying to break it down and maybe see if I can do it. And this one, I honestly didn't know, like I didn't turn off my brain necessarily, but I was just like, you know what, screw it, let's send it, let's get it going. Like let's get it out of the way. I've done the work, I've put it in for 4 hours, and I know what the sequence is. Let's just do it. So as you see here, I'm really focused on my breathing, and I'm just kind of like not overthinking it, but being thoughtful of my movements. And when I get it, I'm like, whoa, like this is crazy. And I match it, and I'm like, oh, I got it. And so many people were cheering, because they see me doing it. And then after that, I just pumped myself out with some double doubles on the jump rope. So I was just so happy, and I was really thankful. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to climb and be in the environment I am. And moving forward, this is Power, Jacob Power, my favorite person that I've met recently from the Quick on the Draw. He's one of my new friends, and we're breaking him into white tapes. My goal is for Jacob to get into red tapes by the end of the year. And let me tell you, he's an awesome guy for one, and then for two, he said he's been stuck in the 3-5 range. So white tapes in my gym are V5 to V7, And I was literally throwing him on whites, be like, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this, and he was like, all right, let's get it. And I was so happy for it because he he didn't ask questions. He just was like, all right, I trust you. And granted, he didn't get most of them, but we did get some success, which that's all that matters to me. And we're we're bros now, and we're gonna be climbing more and more often. And his roommate Caleb, we're also gonna be including as well. But his last name is Power. He's got to be good, right? The Jacob Power. That's probably one of the coolest names I've had in a while that I've heard. And honestly, he's one of my new favorite people. Shout out to Alex Ruth too for introducing me and his friends. Alex is a Chicago climber that I've met out of Chicago, Illinois. So grateful for them, and I'm so grateful that Jacob's going to be climbing with me and my climbing partner Gabe Comas more and more often. So really thankful for those guys, and I'm really excited to take them on this journey with me as I train for the North American Cup Series, as they know they're going to be seeing a little bit more of a serious side of me than a fun guy. But honestly, this session, I was getting out of my performance training with my coach. So being able to kind of coach what I was coached earlier in the session was kind of cool, especially like with Jacob, because he's kind of a relatively new climber in the sense where he's still raw. And I love that I can coach a little bit and just emphasize that. But thank you guys for watching, and I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. And I know it's a little bit longer and not based on me, but thank you guys, and I hope you come back for more.